Hello YouTubers, Troz here, playing some more Kerbal Space Program, continuing my first contract gameplay. Did have some computer issues last week. One of my hard drives went bad, but luckily it was part of a mirrored array, so I don't believe I've lost anything, or everything. Back playing Kerbal Space Program. Missed one video because of the computer issues, but it's all worked out. We were playing First Contract, and we had a mission in progress that we are going to continue. It's coming night here at Kerbal Space Center. We have a ship in orbit that we want to fly. We had a few contracts that we were working on. It's a little dark here, we're on the dark side, but we gather some scientific data that we need to return or transmit. Obviously we don't have a transmitter, so we're going to try to return it. And let's see. We're not doing all of these. But I want to test basic jet engine splashdown. We have the basic jet engines here and some fuel for them. We just need to splash down. We also need to test radial decouplers splashdown, and that is what is holding these engines on, I believe. Yeah, there's the radial decoupler. And they're after these parachutes, which should help us splash down. And then the others of these, well, I guess we'll be doing them later on in this video. We'll have to see about that. So let's go to the map here. We're over here. We got a preliminary landing plan to land somewhere off the coast of Kerbal Space Center. We just need to get around to this point and then double check everything, because Kerbin is going to also rotate around, so this coast is going to move, so we may need to adjust where we fire our rockets. So let's fast forward and I get a nice view here as we do. About 20 minutes. Going around on the day side. I'm going to stop about 2 minutes. That should give us enough time. 3, 2, 50. We're over the desert here. And I'm not sure if that's really quite enough. We can do two things. We can either move this, but I'm just going to pull that out a little bit, and that will extend. Yeah, we're not going to go that far. Maybe just a little back. I think that will be good. Just lowered how much thrust we'll need a little bit, and about a minute. So let's line up for this burn. Something like that. And apparently we don't have an estimate for the burn just because we haven't used our engine yet since coming back, but I think that's okay. Let's just fast forward a little bit. I'm going to start right at the node because it doesn't... Basically shooting past it a little bit is what we want. 3, 2, 1, burn. Okay, we are out of fuel. Let's drop that. and we're now suborbital. Getting off a little bit. Oop, past that. I'll still be fine. We barely pass it. So let's get rid of that, and oh, we should be down on the ground in just a little bit. I'm gonna roll us so we got a window up. And yeah, we have plenty of charge. Let's turn off SAS. And let's time warp until we hit the atmosphere. Which we just did. So that wasn't too quick. We still should be going pretty quickly when we are over Kerbal Space Center. In fact, let's physics warp here just until we get a little closer, because we're not dropping that quickly. Alright, we basically just have to make it past those mountains. And I think we're going to... Let's go back to normal. See, the sun is now getting ready to set. Kerbal Space Center is probably in the dark already. We won't really be slowing down until we hit about 30. It's not time warp I wanted map. Yeah, this has come in a bit. Just need to make it past the coast here. We want to make it into the water for our experiments that we need to run, and well, I hoped it would not be a problem. We may be getting a little close. We do have plenty of fuel if we need a little extra guidance. Alright, there's the Space Center. Here's the heating effects. We're gonna start slowing down. I wonder if I ever... crew report's not gonna get us anything. Obviously I already took it. Alright, we are heating now and slowing down, but definitely looks like we will be making the water. Just making it past Kerbal Space Center now. Looks like we'll be maybe landing somewhere near the external landing site in the water there. It's actually isn't too bad. We're right over Kerbal Space Center now, about 12 kilometers up. So it's pretty much a total guess, but landed pretty much ideally where I wanted to. Not too far from Kerbal Space Center, but in the water. Alright, I'm going to be deploying the parachutes when we hit 5,000. So I want to make sure we are able to slow down and land safely in the water without breaking anything. We have 3 parachutes here, 2 on each side and 1 in the center. And if need be, we have plenty of fuel to help slow us down. Definitely want to make sure we're going about 5 meters per second or less. That should be safe for everything. Parachute should open momentarily. There we go. Dropping at 7.9. It's a little on the fast side, but maybe okay. I'm gonna fast forward here a little bit till we get closer to the water surface. Alright, we haven't dropped too much. Let's 4.9. Great. Alright. Let's disable that engine. And we are now going to test the basic jet engine splashdown. Alright, let's throttle up a little bit. And we have no air intake, so these probably won't work well. But we are going to activate them now. And, yes, we tested. Let us now test the radial decouplers. I'm actually going to try testing just one, if I can. And hopefully we can recover the other as part of the ship. Okay, that didn't really work. Let us just hit spacebar. Okay, that worked. And now the ship rolls over. We'll have... I'm not sure if I collected a water sample yet. Take surface sample. Yeah, maybe we have. Let's keep the data and board. And maybe a crew report. We'll keep that data as well. Let's recover the vessel. Okay, science. We gathered 2 points of science from the water, 3 from the surface sample, 7 from mystery goo from the upper atmosphere, 10 from the observation while in space near Kerbin, and nothing from recovering the vessel for 23 science. But we now have a total of 83 science. A lot of that probably came from our contracts. Next, we have the parts. We've recovered a command pod, a fuel tank, an engine, 2 mystery goo containers, and a parachute, and some propellant. And we got Bill Kerman back. We got science data from space around Kerbin, which gave us a lot of money, but very little science. But we got decent reputation for that. We got 7 science for testing the radial decoupler splashdown. I'm not really sure if that was worth it. But 34 science for testing the jet engine. And then when we took off, we tested the liquid-mounted Mark 55 radial engine. which gave us 14 science. Alright. Can we recover... Oh, we can maybe recover debris. Mission 10, debris. Yes. I bet this doesn't give you money back. We got mission 8 debris on a suborbital trajectory. Barely suborbital. Even if I followed it, it probably wouldn't come down for a while. All right, let's just go back and let's hide the debris for now. All right, we've been in orbit. Our next major target would be the moon or Minmus. But before we do that, we have a few contracts here. Small gear bay on escape from Kerbin. Skipper in flight. Poodle in flight. Poodle is while going really quick. The Skipper isn't. It's 100 meters per second isn't that quick at all. Small gear bay on escape trajectory out of Kerbin. What else do we have? Hey, Gene. This expires in 21 minutes. And yeah, the pay's not that great. Rocco Max solid fuel booster. A little bit of science. But probably not worth it. Test a Cybertron. Not really worth it for 6 science. That was also 6 science. Test a stack decoupler landed for 2 science. Hydraulic detachment manifold. See, now this isn't. This is good money and good science, and we have a year to do it. I'm gonna take this one. All right, yeah. Oh. Test a LV-1 liquid engine in a suborbital trajectory. There's also good money and good science. Kerbin suborbital. You basically just get into orbit at a 80 to 90 kilometer orbit and then slow down and test this thing. And also a year to do it. That sounds like a good thing to test. Rockomax 2477. What are you? Oh, it's worth a good amount of science, so I think I'm gonna take that as well. Explore the moon. Not gonna take that quite yet. We do have quite a few. These three. Could probably all be done in one mission, but I don't think I'm that far yet of getting things out of Kerbin's sphere of influence, or at least on their way to being on a trajectory out of Kerbin. We got this hydraulic manifold tested, let's say at 90. Test this engine at 90. And I think this is an engine as well. Test it also at 90. So, I think we're going to do these three. And maybe even one more. If we got some skipper engines. Test hydraulic manifold. We'll start off with the pod. Oh yeah, the Rockomax 2477, tiny experimental engines. We can definitely test that. And the LV1. Which one is the LV? That's the 909, T30, Poodle. Oh, the tiny LV1 ant engine. Okay, we can do that. You can be tested anywhere. 2477s. These guys can be tested higher. I'm gonna put 2 in symmetry mode here. And that's gonna be our upper stage. I need some parachutes. I'm gonna do a pair of these. 2 just to make sure we land at a safe landing speed. So that's our upper stage. We'll be testing these 2477s at higher orbit, using them to lower orbit, testing the LV1s, hydraulic detachment manifolds. Yeah, these are big. That's kind of non-standard, but they'll, that should qualify. There's nothing gonna be... Yeah, let's... you're not centered. Oh, it's kind of sticking to the engine, isn't it? I'll stick the engines like that. The hydraulic detachment manifoldies like that. And we'll stick you like that. Okay. What can we test on our way up? LV1, that's this tiny one, right? Yeah. Okay. Test these. Test the LV1s. Test the 2477s. LV1 can be tested the lowest, 2477's highest, and hydraulic detachment manifold somewhere in the middle. Poodle engine. And the skipper engine. I'm gonna save this here because I want to look at what science we could get. It's something I forgot to do. We unlocked 83 science, which is barely not enough. Okay, let's go back. I was hoping I could unlock one thing. We don't have any of these bigger fuel tanks that the bigger engines that we are looking at testing would possibly work for. See, what I was kind of thinking of, and again, and this is probably overkill, we gotta test the Poodle engine before 12,000. And we have to be over 410. That's actually relatively not easy to do. I'm gonna wait to test that until we have wider or bigger fuel. Now what I was gonna do is use these skippers. They could probably get us to that speed if we could provide them with the fuel. The way they are, though, like we would do symmetry here. You hook in there. Oh, we do have a tri-coupler. Are you gonna hook on? No, you're not gonna hook on. Have to do something like that, I think. And then oh, come on. You're a tri-coupler. You should fit. How does that work? How did that work? There we go. You gotta get it to attach to the ball and not to the side. See, now that may be enough thrust. And then we'd obviously have to do some struts here to prevent it from all wobbling around. And then zoom in here. Something like that. At least allow us to test the skipper engines. Assuming we can get to that speed. Getting to that speed would be another problem, though. Why aren't you attaching? There we go. He should be down here. Should be up there. Actually, those should be here. So that... These are the solids. And that should be activated when the skippers... We need these solids to get us to 6,600 meters or more and not exceed 400. It's a little close, but I think on this side it was closer. This is a crazy ship. But I think this will get us to test another 4 contracts. So get this, the skipper, I believe. And then the hydraulic manifold, the LV1, and the 2477s. And we can actually check if we can potentially reach 410 by 13 kilometers. Only concern, and it's a small one, but I'm not sure that this center stage will get us where we need to go in orbit. So I'm going to add a small stage just to get us into orbit. So probably reduce our speed for the poodle test. Not that I'm doing the poodle test. Alright, we got our get off the launch pad and get up to 6,000. And over 100 meters per second. So we can test the skipper engine. Test the skipper engine. And we can try to see if we can get 410 by 29,000. I have a feeling these are going to run out of fuel relatively quick. When these are gone, which should be that stage, where is this engine? Yeah, so this that would have been disastrous. When we disconnect the skipper engines, we need to fire bottom engine. That should get us up near orbit. And then we have this stage to get into orbit. And then we have, this is the test and return stage. Let us have a go at that. Oh, and I wanted to put some launch clamps on here, but it looks like Looks like we potentially don't need them. Actually, I am going to revert to the assembly. We have solar panels now. Let us spring for 2 of them. And some lights. And one last double check of everything. What are you doing up here? There we go. Save. We don't need the battery, we got solar panels. Alright. I think we're ready now. Let's turn on the lights. We were stable without the launch clamps, that's why I didn't add them. Rockomax skipper engine. Okay, we should be ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Lift off. A little slow on the lift off, but we got a big ship here. Just want to make 6,600 to test these skipper engines. We have to make 100. We're almost at 100. But actually we're getting down there though. We're still got 4,000 meters. So let me not get this skipper test off. Real shame that we won't. Oh, staging fail. Total staging fail. Okay, wow, we just lost a whole bunch of thrust and money. Let's see if this has the oomph to get into orbit. If this does get into orbit, we can still recover the rest of these experiments, basically. We do have a very light ship here, so at this point. But our apoapsis isn't too big right now. we basically need to really pick up. And we are really picking up speed now, so at least starting to. We don't have much ship left. We're going to be losing a lot of thrust once we lose this stage. Though we are kind of picking up speed nicely. We probably will make it into orbit. I want to get this up to about 90. Well, let's say 80. We can adjust it later. Real concern is orbital speed, but I think we may have enough thrust. We have lost a lot of weight, and this engine is relatively efficient. Stop it there. Add maneuver. Need 115, but we do want 90 something, let's say. 101 should be plenty. We need an extra 900 meters per second, though. And yeah, it really should be burning now, because it will take us a while. Actually point a little skyward in order to keep our apoapsis in front of us a little bit. Alright, so we didn't get the skipper test, and there was no way we did. Yeah, I really gotta look at that staging and see what happened there. I thought I had it all right, but well, next flight we'll do a skipper and poodle. We'll probably just even do a suborbital flight. I think that means we got into orbit, and a little high. But actually, it's just a matter of waiting here. Actually, I can put these next. The hydraulic detachment manifolds. And when we get to 88, we can test those. And we test the 2477s when we get to 90. We're not going to get to 90, are we? Oh yeah, we are. Alright, we're going up to 109. And then we can use these to put us in a suborbital trajectory. And then we can test the LV-1 ant engine, which is not currently visible. Alright, so we're just about ready to test the hydraulic detachment manifolds. Alright, we are in the green to test. We're in the green to test. Oh, come on, what? What stage are we on? Alright, we'll get rid of this. Alright, and we gotta do this real soon before 94. Alright, we tested them. Now we can test the 2477s. And now we basically just want to get into a suborbital. Alright, that should count as suborbital. Oh, yeah. We are all ready to test the LV-1. Run test. Okay. I'm not sure why that engine I can do a run test on, where some others I can't. And I think we're good to go here. Way over the grasslands. I think there's shores. Alright, keep the data. Board. EVA. Already did water. Oh. Can't accelerate while I'm on a ladder. Lights. Camera. Yeah. We're out of power. Luckily, We are in a descent suborbital path. We also have solar panels. So, any second now. We're gonna charge up. Yeah, look at that. Hey, grab on there. Don't be a daredevil. Highlands. Try and get some science. And you know what? I think we actually have most of it already. Alright, we are just gonna come around here and enter the atmosphere. And we actually have quite a long way to go. And we're right over these mountains here at this crater, but I think we're actually going to land in the water over here somewhere. So you can see that's falling. I think I had that at 20 to start off with, but we're interacting with the air and it's already slowing us down. We're actually a pretty small ship here. See how the aerodynamics are wobbling us engine first, which is actually the way we want to go. Alright, we're low enough. Let's get back to standard time speed. And we should start getting re-entry effects real soon. There they begin. Let's see what this looks like for Jeb. He sees a little heating there, but not too much. The altitude. Yeah, there we go. We're getting some good re-entry action now. Looks like we may actually land on the land over here, on this peninsula. Yeah, I think we are going to make it over there. We're still going pretty horizontal, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to go past. may just fall a bit short, but it's looking pretty good for us getting on the ground right now. This is about the furthest you can land from Kerbal Space Center, though, so we'll see how much recovery we get. May just fall short of the land. I think we actually may, yeah. I don't think these rockets are powerful enough to get us back on target. Alright, let's open the parachutes. These are only 2 parachutes this time, but we have much less weight, so we should be landing fairly safely. Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, I'm just gonna time warp us down. And we should be landing in a moment here. So this was a fairly successful mission, except for the skipper engines not firing. I obviously messed up the staging, and because of that, it was actually a very costly mission. Didn't get the science that we thought we'd get. But let's recover. Yeah, the ship was basically way too expensive. I threw away those engines and those the fuel tanks that were attached to them. Well, it was 12 fuel tanks in total. Very expensive mistake. Anyway, we got 8 science, but now have a total of 245 because of the contracts. Only got 16% value because of how far away we landed. We basically could pay for the 1 capsule out of what we recovered. But Jebediah did come back safely. Now let's look at our contracts here. We got 60 science for testing the LV-1 Ant engine on the suborbital trajectory. We got 60 science for testing the 2477 radial attached engines. Got a good amount of money too, and nice reputation. I got 34 science for testing the hydraulic detachment manifolds. So, yeah, I think we actually did decently. Not sure how much science that would have gotten, but that would have been nice too. So we can do some shopping. And I looked at these last time. This would be nice, RCS. That would definitely help us if we're trying to aim for the moon. More science would also be nice. And then some of the bigger parts for heavy rocketry would be nice. Fuel lines would also be nice. We can get 2 of these basically for what we have. Not doing planes yet. If I'm aiming for the moon, these would be nice, as well would these. So I'm gonna grab these. These could also be nice, but I could do without them. You know, the larger decouplers here for a little bit. But RCS, I think, would definitely help in going to the moon. So we got these thruster blocks and some RCS tanks. So I'm going to take those as well. And lastly, before I end this episode, let's see here. Ooh, a rescue. No science, but a decent amount of money. I think the rest of these I've already looked at. Alright, so we got a few. I like to test these Poodle and Skipper ones. And we'll do that next time. And then we'll, I think we'll plan to head to the moon. Because that's the next logical step. Although, technically Minimus is a little easier to get to. We don't have any contract for that. But, yeah. So I guess that's the plan. Thanks for watching, and I see you guys next time. Some more Kerbal Space Program, first contract.